Boys, it's Chinned. This weekend, we're looking at one of the worst matchups you could ever imagine in the sport. It's just dog shit. I'll eat my words if Gilbert Burns pulls the win off, but nobody thinks he's going to win. I think he's going to get ran through. It made me think the UFC's been very lackluster, at least in the first quarter of 2026 with matchmaking. What are the best currently made fights of quarter two 2026? Because it's actually much better. It's looking better the next 3 months than it has been the last 3 months. So, that being said, here are my top 10 most anticipated fights. This is in terms of matchups, just even fights, entertainment value. Everything's taken into account, starting with Aljamain Sterling versus Yusuf Zalal. This one is flying under the radar, kind of like everybody expected. But it's actually a great fight. It's a very even matchup. Yusuf Zalal's on a fucking absolute dominant run in the UFC right now, ever since coming back. And he's already got a hell of a lot of experience against high-level opponents as well. He took Ilya to a decision, a fairly competitive decision as well, a few years ago when Ilya was still an unranked featherweight. Just a really even matchup. This is a great fight for Aljo as well because it's a nice bounce back from what he's been going through recently in his career. I mean, I don't rate the Ortega win whatsoever, so I think he needs one big win to really show that he's back in some sort of title contention, and this could be that win. Really even fight, really even in the grappling, I feel like, although the control is definitely on Aljo's side. Should be really, really fun seeing if Aljo can take him down, and if not, if he can strike with Salal. Should be fun. Moving on to number 9, Joel Alvarez versus Yaroslav Amosov. This is a bit of a deep cut. This is a bit of a hardcore pick, if you will. This is just this 328 card, the Shmaev Strickland card coming up, filled with great matchups like this. But this fight in particular is super interesting to me. It's just super 50-50 again, like just great matchmaking. Alvarez, extremely dominant fighter in the UFC, a near 100% finish rate, which was ruined in his last fight against Luque. And Amosov is one of the best fighters, or was one of the best fighters outside of the UFC before he got signed recently and smoked Neil Magny in his debut. And say what you want to get about Neil Magny, that's an impressive debut. It really is. To just go in, when you've been on the regionals for so long and smoke one of the mainstays of the division, that's impressive. This is a really good fight, really even fight. I think I'm leaning Amosov here just because I feel like Joel Alvarez is just too... he's always got the finish on the mind, and Amosov, control-wise, is one of the better fighters you'll see at this weight class. But it's so up in the air. I don't really know who I'm picking at the moment. Just a great fight, though. Really good fight. Moving on, this is number 8. I am very, very excited for this one. This should be really fun. Jack Jenkins versus Marwan Rahiki. I am in the camp of Marwan Rahiki is the new Miguel Baeza, the new Carmel Thunder. For any of you guys who remember that prospect from around the COVID era, he was seeming like the next big thing, skill-wise at least, but he had major defensive inconsistencies, and he ended up having a shit chin. I think Marwan Rahiki is the exact same fighter, just younger. He's skill-wise very green, but shows a lot of potential in his fights. He's got great power. He's got striking fundamentals-wise. It's not the strongest when it comes to the defense, but his combos are there. The leg kicks, of course. I mean, Marwan Rahiki is a fairly skilled fighter, but the chin and the defense is terrible. I think a guy like Jack Jenkins takes advantage of that and puts Rahiki out. Maybe not to sleep necessarily, but definitely a TKO. But regardless, I'm not crazy confident in that, which is why I find this fight so intriguing. You get to see if Rahiki's the real deal. I think it's definitely too early for him to be fighting a guy as well-rounded and technically sound as a Jack Jenkins, but we're gonna see. And it's in Australia, and it's Australian versus Australian. This is just a fucking crazy fight. It's a crazy, crazy fight. One of those sink or swim moments. The UFC every once in a while throws their prospects at a really fucking tough guy, And this is where you get to see what they're made of. This fight's fucking awesome. And I believe it opens up the card too for Jack Della versus Prates. Just fucking insane. Insane fight. Moving on, Kai Asakura versus Cameron Smotherman. I'm the biggest Rising Glazer of all time. And I can't wait for Kai Asakura to finally get his first UFC win. Cameron Smotherman is actually pretty decent. He's not like this terrible can. He's actually a decent fighter. He's got a pretty good chin. He's got pretty good grappling. He's got good combos, like a nice rangy, reach reliant style. This is actually a good fight. And it could be slightly competitive. I'm picking Kai to sleep him though. I think Kai's due for a win. And this is exactly the type of fighter he needs moving up a weight class. I think he's going to TKO him. I really, really hope that Kai can win this fight. Big fan of Kai, and I really hope he can pull this off. Very, very excited for this. I'd love to see him get a win in the UFC. Moving on, this is number 6. Nobody's talking about this fight. It's kind of fucking weird. Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. I am in love with this matchup. Every single time I see anybody talking about it online, they're kind of confused about it. I mean, especially when it got announced, people were like, what? Why Steve Garcia? Like, this fight's fucking insane. I've been on the Steve Garcia train for a good year or two now. I think he's the real deal. I think he's going to beat Diego Lopez. I think he might even TKO Diego Lopez. He is literally the 145 version of Prime Tony. He gets dropped every once in a while, he gets hurt every once in a while, but he never gets finished. And the long, just, again, like some other, just reach reliant style, very long arms. He's very, very tall. He's hunched over just like Tony, and he pressures you like nobody else. Steve Garcia, in my opinion, is the future of this division, or he's up there. Like, I think the future top 5 is going to be consisting of people like Gene Silva, Garcia, Vallejos, all these guys. Steve Garcia, he has just looked so unbeatable on the feet recently. I mean, he is such a good striker, and he's putting it all together. He's got the great combos, the body shots, and he just walks you down, and he's got power. He's got crazy power. Now, I know Lopez has power, and that's why I'm excited for this fight, because we see Garcia get dropped all the time, not quite finished. Lopez has the power to steamroll Garcia. And just based on this alone, that matchup between the power of Lopez and just the technique and the pressure of Garcia, that's what I can't wait to see. And I guess the pressure, of course, of Lopez, because he also is a high pressure fighter. It's just a great matchup. I'm taking Garcia to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lopez can pull this off. Just a great fight to open up the White House, although it might not be opening it up anymore. That might be the Hogan fight, but regardless, just a great fight, and I can't believe people are not talking about it more. And when they do, they talk about it like Garcia doesn't deserve to be there. Moving on, this is in the top 5 most anticipated fights. Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira, of course. And I do have a pick for this fight as well. I'm picking Tatsuro Taira by submission in round 2 or 3. I see everybody talking about Joshua Van like he's this takedown defense god. The same people who were clowning on Van when he got TKO'd, when he got knocked out, actually. Just outright knocked out by Energy. And the same people who were clowning on him, saying that he would get smoked by Pantoja. I do want to say I picked Joshua Van by TKO over Pantoja. I don't rate that win highly at all. And we were never shown if Joshua Van could defend a takedown from a high-level fighter. And everybody who's picking Van now, all the bandwagon fans, and I loved Joshua Van, but the bandwagon fans are making me think otherwise. Ray Saruya, that fight it's not at all indicative of what can happen in this fight. Ray Saruya is not even in the top 10 best takedown, best wrestlers in the flyweight division, if you ask me. And it is impressive early in Joshua Van's career to be able to do that. We haven't seen anything since, and it's been about a year and a half or so. That shows me that Joshua Van can resist a takedown, the level of a Taira takedown or a Pantoja takedown. And until then, it's Taira 100% of the time with full confidence. I think Tyra is a top 5 jiu-jitsu fighter in the sport right now. I think he has some of the most underrated submissions you'll ever see. The most underrated, just the ability to take the back, the ability to swing in a full mount from any position as long as it's somewhat dominant. Just the way that he uses his legs and the hooks to get different positions and submissions that you really don't see. Tyra is definitely one of the best grapplers in the sport, and I think he's going to run circles around Van on the ground. Now, if Van keeps it standing, there you go, right? Should be a Van win. That's why this fight is so interesting to me, though, because I really feel strongly about the fact that Tyra should be able to dominate him on the ground. But that's why I'm so excited for this fight. We get to find out. What a fight. Moving on, Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. This is number 4. Just a banger, and a lot of people are acting like this is a lot more lopsided than it is. I'm seeing a lot of Alex Pereira glaze, and of course, who doesn't like Alex Pereira? I wouldn't consider myself a super fan, but I'm a fan of Alex Pereira. How can you not be? I hate Cyril Gane, but I'm picking Cyril Gane. I hate him with a passion. I'd love to see Pereira put him out, but I just, this mismatchup is just so good though, because on the feet, you get to see can Gane deal with the hooks of Pereira, and who knows if Pereira's going to go in there like a man on a mission against like he did against Big Ank. This is just a great fucking fight. It's a great fucking fight. You get to see really who's the best striker in the heavyweight division. One of the best strikers, because I do think it's Aspinall. Just a great fight. I'm picking Gane, just an early pick. I'm not really too, convinced about it. But for now, it's just such a good fight. It's such a good fight. And honestly, if Pereira wins, you have to consider him one of the greatest of all time. A win for a third belt is just monumental. It's monumental. He'd be one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT. Just a great fight and a great matchup. Moving on, this is the top 3. Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. Another fight I see a lot of, iffy thoughts about. Like Strickland's just going to get ran through. And I understand. Probably picking Khamzat by KO here. I'm not 100% sure. I can see Strickland resisting the takedown for a little while. Or maybe, surviving on the ground and being able to get up every once in a while. And they're forced to strike, and I could just see Khamzat catching him, because Strickland needs to put Khamzat away, in my opinion. Or at least he needs to get him tired enough to where he's fine with striking with him for the rest of the fight. I think Khamzat has such underrated cardio. It's overhated. I picked Khamzat over Dreykus via cardio monk, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. Man, it's a great fight, though, because you can't come off of a better win if you're Strickland. And as far as Khamzat goes, that win over Dreykus, you can really put these two wins up against each other, and it just makes for this crazy matchup of will Strickland be able to resist the takedown and TKO Khamzat on the feet or wear him to a decision? It's just a fucking crazy fight. And honestly, it's higher on the list because I'm probably going to be going to it. So, I mean, that alone, the 328 card's great. The 328 card is great. Just a great fight. Very, very excited for it. Moving on, number 2, Manel Kape versus Kyoji Horiguchi. I mean, again, as the Ryzen Glazer, what are the picks looking like on this fight? Lots of Horiguchi. This, to me, is a coin flip. Kyoji has one of the more sus chins. Kyoji's one of my favorite fighters of all time. He's got one of the more sus chins you'll ever see for a flyweight. And Kape has some of the hardest hands you'll ever see for a flyweight. And Kyoji was able to deal with that kind of methodical striking style of Kape in their first fight, but that was years and years ago. Kyoji did catch Kape a lot on the feet, and I can see that happening now, but Kape's chin is a lot sturdier these days. He's really figured out the weight cut. You don't really see Kape get caught too much. Just the styles, the striking styles, and you're going to expect Kyoji to mix in the grappling because it worked so well against Kape the first time, where he was able to submit him, catch him with an arm triangle choke late in the fight. I really do think that Kyoji can pull it off, and I'm rooting so hard for him. And I love Manel Kape as well, but I I don't know. That win over Brandon Royval for Kopp was so fucking easy. And Royval's got one of the... I don't want to say he's got one of the better chins. He's a slightly chinny fighter. But just to put him out like that is so impressive. And if you can put out Royval like that, you can definitely put out Kyoji like that. And I'm scared. I'm scared for Kyoji here. Honestly, I think I'm picking Kopp, but I'm kind of conflicted. I don't know. I'll have to make a video about this when it's fight week for this one. But it's so 50-50. I can't fucking wait. I just wish it wasn't in the fucking Apex. Man. What are we doing? Why is this on the Apex, bro? This is so fucking stupid. This is so fucking stupid. Regardless, though, one of the best fights booked right now. And moving on to my number one most anticipated fight of quarter 2 of 2026. Of course, Jack Della versus Carlos Prates. One of the best matchups you'll see in the history of number one contender fights in the 170 division. It's got to be one of the best I've ever seen. Just what is there to hate about this fight? What is there to hate? There's not going to be any grappling. I mean, you probably know that for sure. There's not going to be any grappling. You have the scariest, most dangerous KO artist in the history of the 170-pound division, in my opinion at least, versus some of the greatest striking fundamentals in Jack Della you'll ever see. I don't even know what to say. Where do I start? I think I'm pretty confident in Jack Della here, but I completely understand the risk of a Prates, where he could put you out no matter if you've never been put out before. A guy like Prates can absolutely put your lights out. No doubt about it. Just a fucking banger fight, man. The fundamentals are definitely on Jack Della's side. But the chin... I would also say the chin's on Jack Della's side as well. But the power and just the intangibles of strength and being able to walk you down, that's on Prates' side. But it's in Jack Della's backyard. Man, this fight is so good. Jack Della coming off of his first UFC loss, and Prates on a run ever since experiencing his first UFC loss. This is just... what a fucking fight. I think it's the best fight booked right now. It really is just down to, can Jack Della avoid the striking, the power of Prates long enough for his combos and his fundamentals to wear on Prates as the fight goes on, and possibly get a late TKO or win a decision. That's the fight to me. And I think Jack Della is capable of that. His head movement's great, and even if he does get caught, it's going to take a few from Prates, I believe, to take Jack Della out. Just a great fight, man. One of the best striking matchups you'll ever see in the UFC. It really is. It's up there. It's just great. And the winner should get a title shot against the winner of Makhachev versus Gary, if that's what they're doing next, or Makhachev versus Morales, whoever it is. Just a great fucking fight. I can't fucking wait for it. The crowd's going to be electric. There's nothing to hate about this fight. It is a true number one matchup of quarter 2 2026 for me, through and through. And yeah, that's the video. If you liked, please subscribe. I make instant reactions after every card every Saturday, and I drop picks for upcoming cards every Sunday as well. If you have any thoughts about this top 10, please let me know. I'm aware that there's a lot of fights you can switch around here. Like, I do think the Joshua Van fight could be a little bit higher. Even the Jack Jenkins fight could be a little bit higher. These are all great matchups. But yeah, this has been Chinned. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.